On June 10, 2019, a news article appeared on Thailand's online news portal, Bangkok Post, titled, "Pregnant Chinese Tourist Survives Cliff Fall." A pregnant Chinese tourist, Wang Nuan, survived after falling from a cliff approximately 111 feet high. While she managed to survive, she sustained multiple physical injuries. Instead of falling straight to the ground, Wang Nuan hit the branches of a large tree before falling, resulting in fractures in the left side of her body, her ribs, arm, shoulder, hip, and knee bones. She suffered a total of 17 fractures. Tragically, while Wang Nuan herself survived, the accident's aftermath, including multiple surgeries and medications during her treatment, meant her 3-month-old unborn child could not survive. During her years of struggle and recovery, Wang Nuan worked tirelessly on both physical therapy and strengthening herself mentally. Her dedication paid off, and she made significant progress. Today, more than 5 years have passed since the incident. While she has not been able to regain full physical fitness, after enduring immense hardship and perseverance, she has rebuilt her life. Wang Nuan has also recently given birth to a son. How did Wang Nuan fall from the cliff at one of Thailand's popular tourist spots? Why was she at a risky location while pregnant? And what is Wang Nuan doing now? In today's video, we will explore answers to these questions. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Some Stories, where we bring heart-touching, shocking, surprising, loving, real-life stories. And if it is your first time in the channel, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. There are some instances of violence present in today's episode, and if these affect you, please skip the video and stay safe. We will meet in next episode. Additionally, there may be discrepancies in the pronunciation of names during the narration. If the names are not pronounced correctly, we would like to apologize in advance. Let's dive into our story. On June 3rd, 2023, a Thai court sentenced a 33-year-old Chinese man to 33 years in prison. This verdict gained significant attention in the media, becoming a widely discussed topic. Most local Thai media outlets prominently covered the story, and it went viral on social media as well. For many, this news was a source of satisfaction, especially for the man's wife. That wife was Wang Nuan. In 2019, Wang Nuan fell from a 34-meter, 111-foot high cliff. Surviving such a fall was nothing short of a miracle. Wang Nuan, 32, and her husband, Yu Xiaodong, 33, had been living in Bangkok, Thailand for 3 years. Originally from Jiangsu, a southeastern province of China, the couple had moved to Thailand for business purposes. They were involved in trading, bringing Thai products to China for sale. Their business was thriving, and they were living a happy and successful life in Thailand. Taking a break from their busy routine, Yu planned a vacation. Wanting to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and spend some time in nature, they decided to visit the popular Pha Tham National Park in Thailand's Khong Cham district. Pha Tham National Park is a historical and natural destination, particularly famous for its ancient rock paintings on large cliffs. These tempera-style artworks, estimated to be around 300 to 400 years old, are a major draw for visitors. Tourists also flock to the park to enjoy the breathtaking views of the Mekong River. Excited to spend their holiday in this picturesque location, the couple began preparing for their trip. Yu made all the necessary arrangements, speaking with locals to ensure a smooth journey. He even shared the details of his planning with Wang, which made the whole experience feel romantic, don't you think? Taking a break from their busy city life and business, Wang and Yu set out to explore nature. At the time, Wang was also 3 months pregnant. On June 7th, 2019, the couple arrived in Khong Cham, Thailand. Enjoying their holiday, they decided to visit the viewpoint at Pha Tham National Park on the morning of Sunday, June 9th, to watch the sunrise. After enjoying the breathtaking sunrise, Wang expressed her desire to head back, but Yu insisted they stay a bit longer. This surprised Wang, as Yu was known to be afraid of heights. Although puzzled, Wang agreed to stay. Shortly after, Yu went to use the restroom, which was a little distance from the viewpoint. When he returned, he couldn't find Wang. Panicking, he called her, but she didn't answer. Moments later, Yu saw an ambulance speeding by and decided to follow it. To his horror, he found Wang inside the ambulance, injured and in pain. She had fallen from the cliff, and some Thai tourists who saw her called the authorities. The scene was heart-wrenching for everyone present. Yu appeared distressed, his face pale with fear, and he cried out for help. He hugged his wife and whispered something chilling in their native language into her ear. "If you want to survive, you better behave." Wang was in no condition to speak. She lay in her husband Yu's arms before being rushed to the hospital. When Wang regained consciousness in the hospital, her body was covered in injuries and connected to various medical devices. Struggling to compose herself, she noticed Yu standing quietly in a corner of the room. Yu appeared to be a caring and devoted husband, tending to Wang with unwavering attention. Strangely, he didn't leave her side, offering constant help and affection. To an outsider, his behavior seemed like the ideal example of a loving spouse, but for Wang, this was unfamiliar and unexpected. Despite his care, Wang didn't feel comfortable when Yu touched her or spoke to her. Her frailty left her incapable of thinking deeply or expressing her feelings. As she lay injured on the hospital bed, praying for recovery, one thing haunted her repeatedly: the moment she fell from the cliff. That traumatic instant kept replaying in her mind, refusing to let her rest. Yu's statement to the police didn't align with reality at all. He described the incident as an unfortunate accident, but the truth was far from it. Let's uncover what really happened that day at Far Time National Park. Wang didn't want to go near the cliff that day. However, after Yu's persistent urging, she reluctantly agreed, unable to refuse him. In fact, the couple had already visited the cliffside tourist area the previous day on June 9th. After their first visit, Yu insisted on returning, telling Wang that locals had recommended a special spot to watch the sunrise. According to Yu, this spot was unique because it was usually known only to locals and avoided by tourists, making it even more appealing. Eventually, Wang agreed, and on June 9th, they reached the location Yu had described, an isolated and elevated edge of the cliff. As they approached the cliff, Wang repeatedly expressed her reluctance to go any further. But Yu continued walking ahead, determined. Wang had no choice but to follow. She couldn't help but wonder why Yu, who was usually afraid of heights, seemed so eager to climb such a tall cliff that day. She reassured herself, thinking perhaps he was taking her to a beautiful spot to make her happy, especially since she was 3 months pregnant. Finally, they reached the top of the cliff. A little while later, Yu led Wang to the very edge. Perplexed by her husband's strange behavior, Wang quietly observed him. At the edge, Yu hugged Wang tightly. Then, leaning close to her ear, he whispered chillingly, "Go to hell." Without hesitation, he pushed her off the cliff. While recovering in the hospital, Wang Nuan couldn't escape the haunting memory of that terrifying incident. How could she forget? The image of her own husband pushing her off the cliff replayed endlessly in her mind, tormenting her. And yet, the same husband, Yu, was at the hospital, caring for her with an outwardly affectionate demeanor. His seemingly loving behavior did nothing to erase the fear etched into Wang's heart. Whenever doctors or nurses entered the room to check on Wang, Yu presented himself as the ideal husband, devoted and attentive. People praised Wang for being lucky to have such a caring partner by her side, but only Wang knew the truth. Lying in the hospital bed, she lived in constant fear. The person caring for her was the same one who had tried to kill her, and who was still threatening her. Yu would lean close to her ear and say chillingly in Chinese, "Stay quiet, don't scream. Nobody here understands Chinese. There's no surveillance, no witnesses. The police will only question me. If you tell anyone anything, you won't survive when I come back." Wang Nuan tried several times to share her story with the nurses and reveal the truth about Yu's actions, but her physical condition was too weak for her to speak or express herself easily. Meanwhile, the police were waiting to take Wang's statement. One day, while a language translator was working, she overheard Yu talking to Wang. "Why did you push me off the cliff? Look at what's happened to me now. You better kill me now." The translator immediately reported this to the police, which shifted the investigation's direction. After hearing this, the police began closely observing Yu's behavior. They noticed that Yu did not allow Wang to speak with anyone and kept her isolated. This raised suspicions about him. The following day, Yu removed Wang's oxygen mask, disconnected her tubes, and attempted to abduct her from the hospital. However, nurses intervened and stopped him. Due to his actions, Wang was transferred to another hospital, and Yu was banned from visiting her. Through the language translator, Wang finally opened up about the truth. Yu had attempted to kill her, and she was able to meet with the police. In her statement, she revealed that Yu had intentionally pushed her off the cliff. Wang also disclosed that during the rescue, Yu had arrived at the scene and threatened her not to reveal the truth to anyone. Based on Wang's statement, the police arrested Yu and launched a further investigation. During questioning, Yu admitted that he was unemployed and had fallen into a huge debt. How did Wang Nuan and Yu meet, and what their relationship was like before the incident? Let's look into it. Wang Nuan started her own business and accumulated wealth through her hard work and dedication. In 2017, during a business trip to Thailand, she met Yu and they started dating. Yu wrote her sweet poems, gave her gifts, and organized exciting dates. Within 2 months, they got married. They lived in China, but due to business reasons, they frequently traveled to Thailand. Wang Nuan thought she had met her soulmate, but after marriage, she realized that Yu had only been emotionally manipulating her under the guise of love and was really interested in being with her for financial reasons. According to Wang, before they got married, every morning, Yu would come to my door and prepare different types of food for me. When we went out, he always paid the bill before I could. He seemed like a fun and financially independent person. All my friends highly praised him. He appeared to be a very thoughtful individual. I had been thinking a lot about marriage and family. When he presented these possibilities, I immediately saw a bright future. But after marriage, Wang Nuan discovered that Yu had a gambling addiction and was in debt for thousands of dollars. Not only that, but Yu had also served an 8-year prison sentence for robbery. Due to his criminal record, he couldn't find a job in China, and he spent all his time playing video games. Meanwhile, Wang Nuan had to support their livelihood. She had to cover all the expenses. According to Wang, once when she fell from stairs at house, Yu didn't bother to pay any attention to her because he was busy playing computer games. Without hesitation, Wang Nuan paid off Yu's debt of about 1 million yuan, approximately 145,000 USD, and even made him a manager in her company. One day, Wang received a phone call from her accountant, who informed her that without her knowledge, Yu had transferred 5 million yuan, about 726,000 US dollar, into his personal account. This news shocked Wang, and when she confronted Yu about it, he begged and promised, "I will change, forgive me, I will improve, please give me another chance." Wang Nuan eventually forgave her husband and they resumed their married life together. Then came the Thailand trip incident where Yu pushed Wang off the cliff. Yu confessed to pushing Wang Nuan off the cliff after she refused to give him money to pay off his debt with the intention of killing her. Fortunately, Wang Nuan survived and slowly regained consciousness. After enduring intense pain, she found herself lying alone at the bottom of the cliff. As she tried to get up and search for help, she realized that her lower body was immobile. Meanwhile, her husband Yu remained at the top of the cliff, refusing to leave. He stayed there to ensure that no one would come to Wang Nuan's rescue. For nearly 40 minutes, he watched from the top, and when he heard no sound of help, he assumed Wang Nuan was dead and left the scene. But what Yu didn't know was that Wang Nuan, due to severe injuries, couldn't scream loudly. At the bottom of the cliff, she was weakly calling out for help in a faint voice. Had Yu known that Wang Nuan was still alive, she would have suffered even more torment. About 50 minutes, a passerby found Wang Nuan and an ambulance was called for help. Wang Nuan survived. Although she survived, her physical condition was extremely weak. She had 17 broken bones after falling from the cliff, and more than 100 steel pins and over 200 stitches were inserted into her body. You can see the scars on Wang Nuan's body in the photo after the surgery. The video was posted by her on the Chinese social media platform Douyin. Wang Nuan underwent multiple surgeries and intensive rehabilitation, but during this time, her unborn child died in her womb due to the trauma. Despite such immense suffering, in early 2023, Wang Nuan was able to stand and walk on her own without any support. According to Beijing Youth Daily, she was quoted as saying, "He couldn't kill me, but he made me stronger." According to Wang Nuan, during their marriage, her husband Yu remained unemployed and often pressured her to pay off his gambling debts. She revealed that he had attempted to kill her for her millions of yuan, several million US dollars worth of assets. This was because if Wang Nuan had died, all the money and property in her name would have gone to Yu. After the third trial of this case, in 2023, the Thai court sentenced Yu to 33 years and 4 months in prison. Currently, Wang Nuan is starting a new life in Hangzhou, eastern China. She sells cosmetic products through live streaming to her 4.4 million followers on the Chinese social media platform, Douyin. Earlier this year, on April 20th, 2024, Wang Nuan visited Pattayam National Park, where she expressed her gratitude to the staff who had helped save her life. According to her, she wanted to meet the people who assisted her, and the trip was a Thanksgiving trip. During this journey, Wang Nuan was seen embracing the people who helped her during her time of need, crying in gratitude. Posting a video of her trip on Douyin, she wrote, Coming back here, I realized I survived not because of a miracle, but because many people made their best efforts for me. In another video on Douyin, she can be seen thanking the police officers who assisted in the investigation at the local police station. These two videos received thousands of likes and comments on Douyin. On June 1st, 2024, Wang Nuan shared the news of her pregnancy through Douyin, revealing that she had conceived through in vitro fertilization, IVF. However, Wang Nuan has not disclosed any information about the father of her child. In an interview, she mentioned that due to her tragic experience, she naturally developed a fear of men. On September, Wang Nuan gave birth to a son and shared a picture of her child, writing, "My son and I are safe. Thank you, my dear child, for coming into my world." Wang Nuan's story of struggle and hope serves as an inspiration to many. By accepting her pain and injuries, she has rebuilt her life and shown an optimistic outlook for the future. One important lesson from Wang Nuan's story is the importance of being cautious about whom we trust and who we allow into our lives, as these decisions can significantly impact us, for better or worse. With that, we have come to the end of our today's episode. Until we meet next time, please stay safe, keep listening to and sharing some stories.